Hey, how's it going guys? My name is Ray, and on this second recipe of the Valentine's Day, I'm gonna show you something really simple and sort of a last minute dessert if you can find all the ingredients. But if not, I'll also guide you through if you wanna make it from scratch. And yeah, so here it is, my Hojicha Panna Cotta recipe. Let's cook.
So we're gonna start with the element that takes longest, which is the red bean paste. This step is not necessary if you can find a ready-made coarse bean paste. That's why this recipe is actually a really quick recipe if you don't have to worry about the beans. So all you need to do is to first soak the bean overnight or at least for 6 hours, then drain the water and add more fresh water, then boil it over high heat for about 10 minutes. After boiling it for 10 minutes, just take it off the heat and drain it once again. This is just to get rid of the muckiness and excess starch if there's any, to make the end product taste more clean in general. Then just return it to the pan and refill it with fresh water once again, but this time don't fill it up too much, probably about a centimeter above the bean level. Then just heat it up once again over medium-high heat, and once it started boiling like that, turn down the heat and cover it with a lid. And now we're just gonna let it simmer over the lowest heat setting on your stove. And just don't forget to stir it around every 10 minutes so it doesn't stick to the pot. And when you can already mush the beans with just spoon like that, that means it's ready. Now we can start sweetening our red bean mixture. And to do this, I'm gonna use some palm sugar, or it's usually called gula MELAKA if you're Malaysian or Indonesian. This comes in blocks, so you just have to shave it yourself, and we're gonna need about 100 grams of this. So just add it into the bean mixture little by little while simmering it over high heat. And when all the sugar has dissolved, turn the heat up to the highest setting and just reduce it down while smashing the beans like so, until you get a thick oatmeal consistency. When you can already draw a line across the pan like that and let it hold for at least 1 second, the red bean paste is pretty much ready. So just take it off the heat straight away and transfer it into a bowl and let it cool down completely to room temperature before you wrap it and put it in the fridge. Usually you can find this ingredient already at this stage, already made into bean paste like so. So if you can find these in that form, that means this recipe will be super simple for you, because you can simply skip ahead to this step, which is really simple because we're only making a sugar syrup. So all we have to do is just to dissolve the palm sugar by boiling it with some water. And for flavoring, I'm just gonna add in 2 pandan leaves. This will give the sauce extra fragrance so it's not boring. And when the palm sugar has dissolved completely, just transfer the sugar syrup into a bowl and let it cool down to room temperature before putting it in the fridge. And finally, the star of the dish, the panna cotta itself. All you need to do is just to mix 3.5 cups of milk with 3 cups of thickened cream. And because we're going with the hojicha flavor today, I'm just gonna add in 3 tablespoons of Hojicha tea leaves, followed by a cup of sugar. Give it a good mix and bring it up to simmer. I've lost a footage here, but actually before I strain the mixture, I added 11 sheets of gelatine leaves that has been bloomed. Blooming gelatin leaves means just soaking it in water until it's soft. And all you need to do next is just to transfer the mixture into a mold of your choice Here I have some silicone molds in the form of half sphere and whatever shape that is in the back. Then just chill them in the fridge for about 1.5 hours or simply until they're completely set. About 10-15 minutes before serving, we can start making our microwave sponge that we're gonna flavor with some matcha or green tea powder. So we have to start by separating an egg. So to the yolk, we're just gonna add 1 teaspoon of matcha powder, 1 tablespoon of powdered sugar, and just sift them in gently like so, and also followed by 1 tablespoon of plain flour. Add in a splash of milk and give it a good mix until the mixture comes together. And with the egg whites, we're just gonna beat it until we get a stiff peak. Then combine it with the egg yolk mixture little by little. You can start a bit rough mixing it around like so, but halfway through the egg whites you need to start just doing a folding motion like so, just to prevent from knocking the air out, because we want as much air as possible in the batter. And when you're done, just spoon the batter into a ramekin. Originally this recipe calls for paper cups, because with paper cups you can actually put some holes on the bottom and make sure no excess moisture is trapped in the sponge, because that could cause the sponge to deflate. But yeah, if you don't have one like me, you can just wing it. It's gonna be a bit different, not gonna be as airy, but it will work. So just pop the ramekins with the batter into the microwave for about 1 minute using the highest setting. And here's a trick if you don't have paper cup. Just turn the sponge upside down like so into another bowl, so that the moist side is now facing up, and we're just gonna pop it back in the microwave for further 20 seconds just to dry it out. And now to plate, we're just gonna have to take the panna cotta out of the mold first. To do that, you need the help of a bowl of hot water and also a plate to tip it out. Just let it sit in the bowl of hot water for about 30 seconds to 1 minute until you can separate the sides. Then just give it a little wiggle and pop it right onto the plate. Just give it a little tap on the back and it will slide right out. And you can do the same with the dome silicone mold as well. Just dip it in hot water for about 30 seconds to 1 minute, tip it over and give it a little push from the back. And you know you've done your panna cotta correctly if it can wiggle like so. We call it the panna cotta dance. So now I'm just gonna lay out everything that we have done so far. So on the plate we have the panna cotta and also the matcha sponge that I have torn into small pieces. And here we have the ANKO or the red bean paste, and also the GULA MELAKA syrup. And here comes the last ingredient that's gonna contribute to the textural effect of this dish: some simple toasted almonds. So to plate, I'm just gonna start with the panna cotta in the middle, just right in the middle of the plate, and followed by the matcha sponges. I'm just gonna tear it in and around the panna cotta. Then I would do the same with the ANKO. I'm gonna form it into small clumps like this and just put it in and around the matcha sponge. Then drizzle a few teaspoons of the syrup on top. And finally, we can scatter around the almond flakes. And just to give the almond flakes a little shine, I'm just gonna drip some of the GULA MELAKA syrup onto the almonds. And there you have it guys, my take on the Hojicha Panna Cotta with matcha sponge, ANKO, and GULA MELAKA syrup.
hope you enjoyed watching that, and if you did, please leave this video a like, and I really do hope you give it a try because I think it's a really good and simple recipe if you want to impress someone that you love. And yeah, if you want to see more stuff like that, don't forget to subscribe and follow me on Instagram and Twitter to get the latest update on my videos. And here are links to my previous videos, so don't forget to check it out as well. And if you have any requests on what you want to see me cook, you can always leave a comment below. And the links and measurements for this recipe gonna be in the description box below. And yeah, that will be all for today. Happy Valentine's Day and see you next week, guys. Bye!